Welcome, everyone. This is our very first episode of Texas Ed Community Builders. I'm the host, Caressa Parrish from ClassTag, and I am so excited to be joined by my friends Nydia, Natividad, and Brent, Jaco from Pecos-Barstow-Toyah ISD, and they're going to share with us some more tips, stories, lessons learned from their district, and some of the cool things that they've got going on when it comes to building community. So first off, let's just start with some introductions. Nydia and Brent, if you'll just take some time to tell us a little bit more about you, what your role is in the district, and how you got there. And Nydia, if you'll scoot over just a little, if y'all will get a little bit closer, we want to see both of y'all's faces. That would be fantastic.
Well, I'm Nydia Natividad. I'm the Director of Media and Communications for Pecos-Barstow-Toyah ISD. I'd like to say I've been with the district my entire lifetime because I'm born and raised here in Pecos. So I'm very excited to be in this role. I enjoy being in this role because it's a special place in my heart.
And I'm Brent Jaco. I'm the Superintendent of Schools for Pecos-Barstow-Toyah. I've been here for a couple years. And I have thoroughly enjoyed being a part of not only PBT ISD, but also the greater Pecos community. And we are so blessed to have Nydia as our Director of Communication. She has done a great job. And I think a lot of that is that hometown feel that she brings. She had a great experience in college and came back and is showcasing her talents with our district, and has helped a lot.
That's awesome. Now tell us a little bit more about the community and what makes you guys unique.
Well, our community is 90+% Hispanic. We're a low socioeconomic community. Roughly about 72% of our student body is low socioeconomic. We cover a vast area out here in far west Texas. We have we've consolidated with two other districts over the course of several years, many years ago. So Pecos, Barstow-Toyah, Barstow and Toyah are neighboring communities, part of Reeves and Ward County. And so we cover a lot of area, not just Pecos, but have to reach different communities as well too.
Yes.
Nydia,
We're in an oil field community, so there's a lot of coming and going, and I think that's what makes us really unique as well, is we have oil field workers coming and deciding to bring their families out here for their students to come to school here. Additionally, we also have some people that will immigrate here. It's a very diverse, broad community that spans the most outreach of land.
So I would imagine that makes y'all's job, challenging in that aspect. So what are some of the initiatives that you guys are working on right now to build community?
That was a big challenge when I came here to build that community, because of where we are in far west Texas and the vast populations, or the area that we cover. Communication's difficult because we don't have access to broadband internet very well. And so that really limits us in how we communicate and what we need to do to communicate. Telephone service is limited in many parts of our area as well too. So it's created a lot of challenge, but we tried to hit the ground running. We did a lot of communication, whether it was through email or mail outs, old snail mail. And tried to find a system that would help us and support us. And ClassTag really helped deliver on that, and was a big plus for us with regards to their different channels and how they can help support us with making our communication process easier.
Awesome. Nydia, you were telling me that you guys are kind of in a reconstruction era, if you will. Will you tell us a little bit more about that?
We're sort of in a building era, whereas we have a lot of building going on. This summer, we had 6 construction projects going on at once. So we do cover a lot of land, but even though in the Pecos zone area, we had 6 construction projects, and you don't see that even in large districts. Additionally, building our community back up after the pandemic. There was a lot of people were used to being able to be invited into our schools to come to events, come to programs. And we're in that era where we're starting to open the doors up some more, let them back in and start seeing, how do you want to be involved in our schools? How do you want to support your students in the classroom while also volunteering, coming to events, meeting with teachers, principals, admin alike? That's sort of the era we're in. I'm calling it the building era because PBT ISD is building. And we're building a lot.
Physically and in every other way.
Socially, everything.
And have you seen since the pandemic, like are parents wanting to come back to campus, or is it noticeably different than years past?
I've mentioned that when I was a kid, I remember parents always being at everything, whether it was a game, whether it was a Christmas pizza party, Valentine's party. Parents were there. They were in an active role. My mom would volunteer in the library. She would come and have this active role. And that was something I saw growing up. And then I don't know if it was because when I got to high school, I didn't see it, but I still, even with nieces and nephews, I myself wanted to be involved in a certain way. And during the pandemic, I know I came in around middle end 2021-ish. Parents really wanted to come and see their kids on splash days. They wanted to come and watch the pumpkin patch. Last year, we were able to invite them to the pumpkin patch. And this year we have been able to. So they're super excited to go out, take the kids to the pumpkin patch, be involved. There is a place where they want to connect more and see and speak with administrators and teachers alike.
Yeah, we believe wholeheartedly that we need to have that partnership with our parents and with our community. And so we want their involvement in our schools, their participation, their input. And so we look to have our communication, built around that. So we can incorporate their desires, their thoughts, as much as possible, into what we're doing, as a school and with their kids.
Brent, Nydia was telling me something that you say. You have a phrase or a motto about something about a three-legged stool. Yeah. Can you tell us more about that?
Absolutely, yeah. So, I really believe, we are a three-legged stool in the sense that we have to have strong schools, strong parents, and a strong community that holds up those kids. And it takes all of us collectively to support our students and to make our community better and stronger going forward. And so we have to have strong schools, we have to have strong partnerships with our parents, and we have to have strong partnerships with our community. And we have worked to do that in Pecos and the PBT ISD district. We have really worked hard to partner with not only the Pecos community, but also our surrounding communities as well, too, in supporting our students and building partnerships with our parents.
And it sounds like ClassTag has kind of helped be kind of a first foundation piece to that and communicating with the parents. But I know you guys are doing a lot of other things, and do y'all have a strategic plan right now when it comes to building community? And if so, can you tell us more about that?
Well, I have learned that it doesn't really matter how you communicate. Somebody always seems to miss the message. And so, or for whatever reason it may be. But we, with that philosophy or that mindset, we work to try to get that message out in multiple ways to close those gaps as much as possible. And so Nydia has done a great job, and I'll let her talk about some of the programs and things that she has put into place to help us get our message out.
Mm-hmm. So within my few years here, we have implemented a print magazine, again, going back to our snail mail here in the Pecos community. We do have the population that doesn't have internet or a computer at home even. My grandma is 75 and would not even know how to work a computer. And that's what some of our population does look like out here in the greater Pecos-Reeves County community. So we decided to start printing out an Eagle Insider magazine. And it's a little short 15-page magazine when we send it directly out all mail out to the door of our community because we want them to know what news is going on. If they're not on the internet, if they're not on social media, we're bringing stories directly to their door. And in that, I got a lot of great feedback from community members. They enjoyed seeing the full color, the pictures. If they're not on social media again, they got to see a full 3-page update of the construction projects we had going on this summer. Additionally, in other digital aspects, we are in a digital world. We have implemented digital newsletters at our campus parent level. We've been sending those out bi-weekly. Those are called the Eagle Echo. Additionally, I'm starting to look into doing a community engagement digital newsletter where I will email that out to subscribers within the community who aren't parents or even parents alike, where we get to brag on the amazing stories and things happening here in PBT ISD. Additionally, just other informational things for people to keep them informed. I started a board brief newsletter where after every board meeting, we know those meetings are long. They can be really information heavy. So I've been summarizing the board meetings for community members who can't make it out to the board meetings. So they have a full-fledged summary that's exactly line item by agenda item. And additionally, we're going to start live streaming our board meetings Monday, right?
I think so.
Yeah, we're streaming on Monday. So that's another piece. We want to keep people informed. We want there to be an open line of communication. And additionally, just to open up to be more transparent with the community. You know, it is a small community. Words can travel fast, even if they are incorrect words.
Yeah.
And we want to allow people to have the resources to find out information for themselves.
Absolutely. And I think it's frustrating as a parent to like learn information from a friend before you hear it from someone else. And it's like, I didn't hear that. I don't know. Where are you getting your information from? So I think that that's so important to get the information out there and let them know where they can get that information. And Nydia, I just want to give a shout out to Nydia. She's being incredibly modest about this magazine that she created. I mean, she designed the whole thing front to back. And did you do all the translations as well? Because it's in English and Spanish, right?
Yeah. Yes. So I did it as a flip book. So if you flip it upside down, you're actually reading the entire English portion exactly the same in Spanish. When doing translations, my Spanish speaking out, not that great, but coming in perfectly fine. I can even read it. So a lot of the times when I do translations, I translate, look it over, and then I hand it over to one of our staff members here who actually is fluent, and she helps me out there. So we did that because we also have a large Spanish-speaking population and parents. And every time I go out, we had an open house last month, or we had open houses last month, and the amount of parents out there that I realized do speak Spanish, I realized they need their needs met as well, along with our English-speaking parents just as much. So I figured by making the magazine flip in both languages, I'm also able to show them an English version so they could potentially, hopefully, just tear it apart, compare page to page, and learn English while reading our magazine.
We work hard to make sure our communications in both English and Spanish to support our community.
Yes, that's a top priority most of the times when I'm making communications.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I hope that when we share out this recording, maybe we can also share some pictures of what that publication looked like. I think people would be interested to see it and just showcase your lovely work.
Yeah.
She did a great job with it. It was a great magazine and was very well received.
Yes.
And you plan to continue doing that, right?
Yes.
We'll have another one coming out right before the Christmas holiday break. In mid-December, we'll have another one come out, and then we'll have one come out around late March, mid-April.
Very cool.
They're very excited, so I'm very excited to start planning that one.
So tell me, if we look 5-10 years down the road, if you could wave your magic wand, what would your community look like? What impacts will these things that you're working on will have had in your community?
One of our hopes is that we continue to get stronger in that partnership and continue to strengthen that three-legged stool, if you will, and make sure that it's really sturdy and that we have great partnerships with our community, with our parents, that our schools are strong, and that we're really holding up our kids to high expectations and helping them be ready for the next step in their life once they graduate from PBT ISD. We'll have new schools. We'll have a brand new district, I hope, by the end of 2026, that almost every facility will have been rebuilt. The average age when we started this project of our campuses was 65 years old. Our high school is 72 years old this year. And so we have a need to redesign our learning spaces for our kids, and our community is supporting that. And they're supporting that because we've been open with our communication. We've improved our communication with them, and we continue to hope to do that as we move forward. And we found that that's really been important and valuable for us in the work that we're doing with our kids.
Awesome. Nydia, anything you want to add to that?
I see, for me, going back to that golden age of parent community engagement that was there when I was growing up. It could be me being a kid, but the way the community felt when I was a kid, I could tell anybody was here to support me and steer me in the right direction and cheering me on along the way. I found, again, growing up here, going to college, coming home on the weekends, people would always be like, "Oh, what are you doing? How are you in school?" And they would say they're proud of you. So every time they saw me, and you keep going. Hey, remember when you learn your stuff? Don't forget us little people here in Pecos. And then obviously I didn't. I came back. I showed the skills that everybody supported me through, and I get to do it every single day here at PBT ISD. So I see that golden age of community that I had growing up, where everybody was involved, happy to help in everything in any aspect.
The mindset of it takes a village, and the whole
Village
is pouring into every kid in your campus. Yeah.
That's right.
That's great.
That's right.
I meant to ask this question at the beginning. So this podcast, of course, is to highlight community builders. And I'm a strong believer that no matter what your role is in education, at the end of the day, you are a community builder. You are there to build community in your classroom, in your school, in your district. So what do you think it means to be a community builder in your district?
For us here, we recognize that, we collect tax dollars, and so we have to, be understanding of that and knowledgeable of that, and go out and support our community and let them know that their tax dollars that they're working hard to earn are going to good use and supporting their kids that are part of this community, and that we are being financially responsible, that we're spending the money in the right way, and that we're making good decisions to not only support our students, but also support our community as a whole. And we feel like we're on the path of doing that, and doing that with the rebuilding of our campuses, with improving academics, and supporting our kids, increasing activity opportunities, extracurricular opportunities for our kids. We feel like we're doing that, but that to me, that's what a community builder is somebody that is looking to, how do we make our community better? How do we make the youth of the community have a place where they can grow and prosper, and like Nydia, come back and support this community once they've graduated and gotten additional education.
I love that. Nydia, would you add anything to that?
I'd say almost the same sentiment. Being a community builder is really being that champion of everyone in the community, champion to have an open line of communication, champion of being a transparent communicator, champion of student outcomes and success, just being a champion for everyone. You're also a cheerleader to everyone, no matter what aspect. You're going to cheer them on. You're going to pump them up. You're going to allow them, hey, come here. Our doors are open. Come speak with us. And you're able to get your messages out that way clearly and concisely.
Amazing. And we finish the podcast with the same two questions every week. First question is, if someone wanted to participate in your community or volunteer in your community, what's the best way for them to do so?
Well, we have a way of them. They can contact a building principal, or they can contact our HR department. As with most school districts, to be a volunteer or being around our kids, you got to start with the background check. And so we want to make sure everybody is safe. But they can reach out to one of our campus principals or to our HR department, and we constantly look to develop partnerships with local industry and businesses and stuff to support our campuses and education in what's taking place in our schools.
Yeah,
Great.
Something we have implemented here is a Just Ask form. It's a little Google submission form. People can go in and submit questions, comments, all things alike. So they're even able to reach us out through there. It's right at the top right corner of our website on every single page. And that's something I like that we have here. It's another way of open communication, or even if you're scared to make a phone call, don't want to listen to anyone, you can just send it there. That's something I like, because I would be the one filling out the form, not actually calling.
Me too.
It's a just ask. It's a great way for people to just ask any question or get insight about what's taking place in the district. And we have a team of people that respond to those. And it's just a quick, easy way for people to get information they need about what's taking place in the district.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, I think every district should implement that. That's a great idea. Final question. We want to give shout outs to other community builders. So do you know anyone else that inspires you to be an amazing community builder? Or do you know of other districts or schools that you have in mind that you just feel are really doing community right?
Yeah, I think a district that comes to mind is one of my former districts, and my mentor, Danny Massey, who's the superintendent at Brazosport ISD down in Clute, Lake Jackson, Texas, about an hour south of Houston. He has done a phenomenal job of building community in that district. He's a master of social media and has done a great job. And then out here in West Texas, Dr. Scott Murray at Ector County ISD has also done a tremendous job of building community up in Ector County, a challenging place to do so. But he has done a lot of great work up there to build community as well too. And those are two outstanding colleagues that I think have done a great job of building community. And then Steve Snell, who is in Liberty Hill ISD in Central Texas, is another person that has done a great job of building community in a community that is fast growth and is growing fast. That it creates a whole nother set of challenges for somebody that's trying to build community and bring people together. They're coming in droves from all over. And so how do you connect people to the school and to the community in fast order? And so that's a tall job to do.
Absolutely. Yeah. I live in Central Texas. So what you're saying about Liberty Hill, it's like, I know so many people that are moving there for sure.
Right.
Nydia, what about you?
Yes. So from a social media standpoint, based off of content creation, rollout, everything, I have a couple districts I love looking at for inspiration. One is going to be El Paso ISD, just 3 hours away from us. They have an outstanding social media website involvement. They're on TikTok. They're TikTok famous in my book. I love watching their TikToks. Another district I enjoy looking at is Garland ISD. Their team there is fantastic. They're also really social media savvy out there. I love following Charisse and everyone, seeing what they give you a behind the scenes look in their day to day. And that's something I like seeing. And even then, their student media, they started TikTok. Their TikTok's taking off because they're including student made content. And then I'd say smaller, closer to me, Andrews ISD. Their girl, she's a one-woman office like me. She does an amazing job. I love looking at her photos, her videos. it's such an aesthetically pleasing experience from there.
Very cool. Thank y'all for sharing. And I hope to share y'all's social media links so other people who want to follow your district or follow you on social media, they can do so. And we'll provide those links when we share the podcast out. But thank y'all so much for being my guest. Again, to be the very first episode, I can think of no better people to be my guest here today. So thank y'all so much.